Qualtrics versus REDCap is a question that comes up constantly in clinical research, and I get why it's confusing. I was recently talking to a colleague about how often new study teams ask this, and she said, almost every single week. Both platforms are genuinely good. It just depends on what you're trying to do. Before you commit to one, I want you to understand a few key differences, including something most comparison videos skip. REDCap was built at Vanderbilt University specifically for clinical and academic research. It treats data as a structured database, which makes it a natural fit for longitudinal studies, multi-arm trials, and anything that involves tracking the same participant across multiple visits. It's free for consortium members, HIPAA compliant, and generates the kind of audit trail IRBs actually want to see. Qualtrics started as a survey tool and has grown into something much bigger, used across a lot of different industries now. It's far more intuitive out of the box. If you need polished, mobile-optimized surveys deployed quickly, it's hard to beat. The drag-and-drop builder means coordinators without any database experience can get something live fast. The catch is that institutional licenses can run into the tens of thousands annually, and clinical data management was never really what it was designed for. Qualtrics is the easier starting point, and it's not particularly close. A few things that make a real difference here. No database experience required. Real-time previews, so you can see exactly what participants will see. A coordinator can have a functional survey built in an afternoon. REDCap takes more upfront work. The interface can feel dated, and first-time users often hit a steeper learning curve than they expected. It does offer solid training resources, and I've always found the setup time pays off once a study gets complicated. Qualtrics is stronger on visualization. Graphs, dashboards, automated reporting. For teams that want to review data frequently without leaving the platform, it handles that well. REDCap is more utilitarian, less visual polish, but it supports complex data structures and exports cleanly into whatever statistical software your team prefers. For longitudinal tracking, randomization, and branching logic, it handles complexity Qualtrics simply wasn't designed for. If your study involves protected health information, REDCap is the default choice for most research teams. HIPAA compliance is built into the platform at a foundational level. The audit trail it generates tends to satisfy regulatory review boards without much additional effort. A few things worth knowing. REDCap covers PHI handling, encryption, and access controls out of the box. Qualtrics is secure, but hitting healthcare regulatory standards may require extra configuration. For studies that don't involve PHI, we know this gap matters a lot less. Getting it right early saves significant headaches later. REDCap is typically free for consortium member institutions, which covers most academic medical centers. For ongoing research programs, that's a meaningful advantage. Qualtrics runs on enterprise pricing that varies depending on institutional size and features. Some institutions already carry a license, which makes it effectively free for individual researchers. Worth checking before you assume anything. REDCap's open-source architecture gives technical teams a lot of room to customize and build around it. Institutions with development resources can shape it quite specifically to what a study needs. Qualtrics has a wider range of pre-built third-party integrations. For teams without dedicated technical staff, that's usually the more practical route. Here's something I think people often forget. Neither REDCap nor Qualtrics really solves participant engagement on its own. Both platforms send email survey invitations, but email open rates in research studies routinely fall below 30%. For time-sensitive protocols, that's a big problem. Medication reminders, ecological momentary assessments, appointment confirmations, these all need to reach people quickly. Email just doesn't move that fast. And for a lot of participant populations, it doesn't reach them at all. Research teams with the highest response rates aren't relying on email alone. They're layering text messaging on top of whichever platform they're using for data collection. SMS gets opened within minutes. It doesn't require an app, and it reaches older participants, lower income populations, and anyone less plugged into email in a way other channels don't. A well-configured REDCap instance with poor outreach will underperform a simpler Qualtrics setup where participants are actually staying engaged. The platform is only part of it. With REDCap, Mosio integrates natively. Coordinators can send automated survey invitations, reminders, and two-way check-in messages via text, with responses flowing back into REDCap automatically. It's a widely used configuration in academic research, and coordinators who've run it describe the setup as pretty straightforward. With Qualtrics, teams use Mosio to send personalized survey links via text through custom project variables, no formal API integration needed. Completion rates go up compared to email-only distribution. That's really the point. Your data platform keeps doing what it does. Mosio handles the part where you actually keep participants in the study. Most of the time, your study design will make this fairly clear. Choose REDCap if any of these apply. You're running a clinical trial or collecting protected health information. Your study requires longitudinal tracking across multiple visits. Your institution already has a REDCap instance running. IRB audit trail requirements are a central concern. Choose Qualtrics if your situation sounds more like this. Your study is shorter and doesn't involve Pi. Your team needs to move fast without dedicated technical support. Survey experience and aesthetics matter to your protocol. Your institution already provides Qualtrics access at no cost. For large-scale clinical trials, REDCap is the stronger fit. For shorter, faster-moving studies where ease of use matters more, Qualtrics covers a lot of ground. And whichever you choose, think about participant engagement before you launch. How you reach people throughout a study shapes your data quality as much as anything else. Mosio is a self-service text messaging platform built for research teams. Whether you're running on REDCap, Qualtrics, or both, Mosio gives your coordinators the tools to automate reminders, run SMS surveys, and keep two-way communication open with participants. Get an instant quote today.